Alright guys, we are back. We got some more Fire Emblem Heroes for you. And we got two new remix banners today. So we got one for Legendary Nanna, and then we got one for Mythic Embla. So let's go ahead and take a look at these banners and see what's up. Okay, so starting things off with Nanna's banner. So on red, of course, we have Legendary Nanna, who is actually a little better than I gave her credit for on my breakdown of her refine, mainly because I completely forgot what her upgraded passive did. So she's getting true damage right there. She's getting 20% of attack, and then she also gets 20% of her speed on her weapon now with the refine. So overall, she's not too bad. She also does these debuffs here. She does speed and defense -7 and exposure, which is very good. Then she's got desperation, and she turns off special base miracle as well as Pavis and Aegis and all of those defensive based specials. So she's not too bad. And then she also has even attack wave and now as her brand new passive. So certainly a lot better than what she had before. I think she came with Menace, attack speed Menace, which, I mean, that's no bueno right now. So Nanna's pretty good. She is color sharing with the aided dagger there. Okay, that's not a bad color share. Could be a little better, but Dagger's got some pretty good fodder, of course. She's got attack speed excel, firm canto curb, and reposition gate, all of which are very premier fodder skills that you may want to give to your arcane heroes for duplication. And then, of course, her weapon here has got some support. She's giving null follow-up and attack and speed up 6, and then she also has Pathfinder. Let's see here. Yeah, she's got Pathfinder on her B skill, and she can also give Pathfinder to either a support partner or the ally on the team with the highest defense. So multi-unit Pathfinder is obviously very good, and she's pretty much the best dagger unit in the game. We have a lot of daggers that are usable, like the Mythic one and also the Wind Tribe dagger. But this dagger here is definitely the best one. So red is not too shabby. Okay, then on blue we have Mythic Uller here. She got a little better with her refine and remix, but still not really the type of unit you're going to want to go for. She does have one thing going for her, though, and it's that she is an offense mythic hero. So even one extra merge is going to raise your score, which is definitely a plus. I mean, these mythic heroes for offense are the only units that are honestly worthwhile to get merges on at all. But passive's not really so great anymore. Even her remix and her weapon refine aren't really that great anymore. So, yeah, little RIP for her. And then we have the female legendary Byleth here, who, she's okay. She can do some stuff. Her C skill here, the upgrade, isn't too bad, where she's giving tempo support, but it's only tempo support to, let's see here. Allies in 3 rows of 3 columns, center on unit, then gets all stats of 4, and then grants special clown count -1 to unit before unit's first attack. So that would be given to her. And then she also gives Scowl. So it's not actually a support. The only support she gives is the null follow-up, the warping, and the attack and speed up 7. The rest of it, like the Scowl and the guard nullification, or not guard nullification, but the cooldown pulse before she attacks, all of that is only for her, unfortunately. Had that been a support, she actually would have been crazy. But that's not quite how it works with her. But she's still okay. She's not the worst thing in the world. Fodder's not really the best, so blue is a pretty big skip, honestly. Alright, then on green, we've got Mythic Thorr. We've already brought this up before with the Uller, but these offensive Mythic heroes are really the only units worthwhile to get merges on. Fodder is not there at all. We got here Bonfire, Push 4, Guard Bearing 4. Yeah, that's really not what this unit wants to be running right now. So, yeah, I would say, like, Momentum is probably better. The Dive Bomb upgrade that, who is it, Legendary Alincia came with. I can never remember the name of that one. It's just like Dive Bomb 4. Like, that's a great one. As far as ace skills go, you could go for, what is there? What's the one that gives you, I think it's Mastery, attack speed Mastery. Although she doesn't really care about speed, but it gives her Canto, basically. And it also gives her a massive bonus to attack. So she's got some options. Also, Excel, I guess, would probably make the most sense. But, or like Blue Skies even, that's an option for her too. So yeah, she's mainly just a damage dealer that can kind of pull off a support role if you want her to. Although, I found it very awkward to use her support correctly, because she has to be in 3 spaces of an ally, which, I mean, if you're using her as an offensive supporter, and you're, like, warping in with units like Baby Camilla, who just warps all the way in, it's very unlikely Thorr is going to be in 3 spaces to support. So, yeah, still a useful unit, but not really the craziest in terms of fodder. And then we have Pjazi over here, who is an arcane hero and an armored one too, which is very good. So one of the better fodder banks you can go for, and she's got access to a lot of good stuff right out of the box. We got Twin Near Save and Armored Blaze. Earthfire Boost is pretty okay. Her weapon is pretty good. It's pretty much... Well, is it actually the best inheritable axe? Because we have gotten a bunch of good ones recently in the Grail shop, but... Overall, this is a pretty strong axe, so I wouldn't really count this one out. And she's an okay unit. She's not, like, the craziest, but she does have Pathfinder, which can always come in handy. And she is an armored unit, which those are in no shortage of usefulness. So there we go for her. Green is pretty okay. And then finally on colorless, we have Mythic Ashura here, who, again, she's an offensive Mythic hero, so that can only help her case for getting additional copies. She has support, but it's not like the craziest support. It's just like okay support. She's giving, let's see here, attack and res up 6, null follow-up, Hexblade, and null panic to allies in 3 spaces. Yeah, I mean, that's okay, I guess. But, like, a lot of units are giving the same support or similar support. Like, null follow-up support is pretty common. Hexblade is getting more common. And then she also, let's see here. Number of allies in 3 spaces a unit is less than or greater than or equal to 3, then grants all that stuff to herself too. So the same support she's giving to allies, she gives to herself. And she has a little drive buff there of all stats up 4. Well, to herself. Not really drive, but drive to herself, I guess. And her I believe her weapon had, like, Blade Tome that borrows stats from allies just in case the enemies have lull skills. That was pretty clutch at the time she came out with her remix, but right about now, not so much. Then we have the Legendary Leaf over here. This guy has definitely seen better days. I do like him in Allegiance battles, though, where pair-up units that can Gale Force are just very useful. So he does have his uses in there, but in Arena, really not so much. He's not killing anything. Well, at least not any armored unit. Like Marnie, Burger King, like all those units are going to tank this guy. So the only 2 colors worthwhile here are red and green, I would say. And red is probably better overall because, like, the combo of Dagger and Nanna is just better. Although, you could argue the, like, merges for Thorr and also the fodder bank with Pjazi are just better. Okay, and then finally on Embla's banner now. So, of course, Embla got her remix, and they buffed Severance in a way where she's just doing even more debuffs now. Or was that on her weapon? They gave her, like, start-of-turn debuffs to combo with Severance, so she can, like, overload on debuffs and make it harder for units like the Ninja Saline and the Attuned Micaiah to just penalty cleanse her undefended. So that stuff is pretty good. Bestial Assault is her new fodder skill, but it's okay. It's not awful, actually. And you can use it on fast and slow beast-type units because it checks for speed or defense for the 20% there. Overall, though, I wasn't really too impressed by what they gave Embla. It's certainly good, and she's certainly better. I think she can be okay in Summoner Duels, actually, but as far as, like, Aether Raid's defense, where she is a defense mythic hero, I don't really think you're going to run her over Loki or Lay Radar, unfortunately. Alright, so there we go for her, and then we have the Arcane Marianne here, color sharing. This unit is pretty solid for fodder. You can give her a bunch of new stuff like Ice Wall, which is a pretty good fodder skill to duplicate. She does have a lot of res. She's already got Crystalline Water. You would want to give her Havoc instead of Speed and Res Discord. Like, the Havoc skills are very good. And then she has Crux by default. That's probably okay, although there's obviously a lot of good movement skills that you could go for these arcane heroes. So she's not bad. She's not awful. And she is unique with her dance special, so that could be cool. All right, then on blue, we have the Mythic Note there, who is I mean, she was solid when she got refined. I remember using her for a little bit for the incited support that she gives, as well as the Pathfinder. But Pathfinder on Aetheroid's defense, at the very least, feels like it's kind of lost its meaning when we have units like Baby Camilla, who could just move a million spaces for free. Or you could just run Celica Ring or Sigurd Ring and just get so much movement anyway. So while Pathfinder is still pretty good, it's not like a necessity anymore. So I feel like that's kind of hurt the use case for Knot and Dagger. All right, then we have the legendary Fa over here, who is surprisingly a very tanky unit with her Refine and Remix. So Life Unending is pretty good at keeping her alive, and then of course her Weapon Refine was pretty good at keeping her alive. So she's okay, and there are a lot of good dragon skills as well, like Barricade and like High Dragon Wall and like all sorts of stuff you could go for. If you're running her in Arena as a supporter or just as an Omni tank, she can be okay. Or just like an annoying unit that's hard to get rid of, like a frontliner for summoner duels. She can be pretty annoying to get rid of, but is she like a must summon or anything like that? Probably no. All right, so blue is not really anything that crazy. All right, then on green, we have here Dagger. Lots in daggers and notes here, man. We got 3 of them in total between the 2 banners. She's, or at least she was okay when she got remixed. I actually used her a lot when she got remixed, specifically in summoner duels where having Pathfinder and then giving it to an ally, like just permanent double Pathfinder at the time, was really sick. But now, like with the rings and the Baby Camilla and all the stuff I talked about before, it's like you can just move a million spaces without Pathfinder. So kind of not really all that necessary to have a Pathfinder unit anymore. All right, and then she is color sharing with the Mythic Thrasir over here, who is seen better days for sure. Just look at her kit right here on screen and just cry in a corner, man. Attack and speed, ideal for, yeah, right, bro. Yeah, so green, very unfortunate, but I guess Dagger is still an offensive mythic hero, so merges for her is good. But that's really all there is to say about green. And then finally on colorless, we have here Bramimon, who is in a very similar boat to all these old mythic heroes, where he was pretty solid when he got his refine and remix, but right now, not so much. And then he is color sharing with Duma. Duma's okay, actually, because he can snipe safety fences if he's in the right spot. But as far as running Duma as an actual unit goes, that's not really what you would do. He's not capable of doing much. Even if you gave him a save skill and took off upheaval, that doesn't really help him. So, yeah, really the only thing this guy is good for is sniping safety fences, and if you find that to be valuable, then maybe he could be runnable. But outside of that, there's not really much point in running this guy. His combat sucks, and he's just way too aged at this point. So, red is okay, and that's pretty much it. I mean, blue is kinda, but not really. So yeah, I would say on the Embla banner, you want to hit red. On the Nanna banner, you want to hit red or green. So let's knock out our freebies here. All right, so who do I actually want? I don't even have aided dagger. I don't have any of the aided heroes, to tell you the truth. So it would be pretty fire if we could actually pull a dagger here. All right, that is not dagger. All right, probably should have went for green because I could use a Thorr merge, and also I could use a Pjazi merge. All right, so over here, like we said, red is really the only thing. So we'll go for red here. Neither of these banners are banners you should be summoning on like crazy either. You know, we might have been better off just free pulling blue, to tell you the truth, to try and get more copies of Legacy Medius and the brand new Grima Male. Like, those are really good demotes that are in the demote pool, and they actually might be more valuable than the 5 stars, which is kind of sad, but kind of dope at the same time too, right? Like, we got these crazy like 4 stars now, and I do have 3 copies of this guy. I've got 1 plus attack, and then I got 2 others that I turned into manuals. So I'm on my way to getting this guy up to plus 10, but it's going to be a while until I do that. So that's all for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. This is your boy Tacho signing out, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.